Sit back and get your popcorn ready because the true story of 99 Nights in the Forest is about to be revealed. But what is this crap? What is this, guys? Whether it's about the deer, what really happened to the missing children, or even where the owl creature comes from. So stay tuned because we're going to uncover all the mysteries of the game and what really happened in real life before the end of this video. Guys, I've been seeing this video on my homepage for a while now, the dark truth about 99 Nights in the Forest. I don't know why he wrote dark in all caps like that, and 8.3 million views. For those who watch my videos, I've always wanted to know the story of 99 Nights. Like this video and the next one, everyone, we're going to learn a lot today.
This game has gained a lot of popularity recently. It's called 99 Nights in the Forest. It's a pretty fun game, but did you know it hides many dark truths? No, but guys.
No, but the images are real. That's what's terrifying. The picture of the plane with, you see there, it's so real. Damn. And it's not even in the forest, it's in the jungle, guys, the kids. Actually,
literally, when you start the game, it says this game is based on a true story.
Some details have been, I think everyone saw that.
Yes, and then here, there are 4 different images. The first image shows that reports were made about a deer standing abnormally on 2 legs in the forest.
Guys, I'll stop pausing here, but I have a theory. In my opinion, guys, the deer is a gigantic human. The guy must be really tall, and he probably put on some kind of deer hat, and he must have killed a deer and put the thing on his head. It's a really thin human, a slender man.
After the search for the missing children, the forest, that's where I'm going to show you the materials.
But hey, it's okay.
You have 99 days to uncover the mysteries of the forest and understand what's happening there. And yes, here's the park, right here.
He agrees.
Completely closed. There's even a warning sign, once again, talking about the disappearance.
That's good since I hadn't seen the sign myself.
In this game, you have to survive for, well, 99 nights in the forest while facing angry cultists, scavenging for food, and finally fighting scary deer monsters.
While trying to uncover the truth.
What is true and what was added by the game. And the game is fun and all, but what really fascinated me is the fact that it's based on a true story.
So
I started doing some research, and man, what I found was crazy. Because yes, there really was a creature that disappeared in a forest.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately.
First, let's discuss the deer and him in the game before we continue.
I wish you weren't supposed to take a
But the game would have been worse. But I hope that... Wait.
But those things, they didn't come out. What am I saying? If they did come out, that's good. And so, the game is better.
If you don't know what a Wendigo is, it's basically a creature that's half deer, half human. A lot of people also believe that this creature can possess other human beings. And many even claim to have seen it. Everyone who says they've seen it describes it as a large beast standing on its hind legs.
Many still believe the Wendigo exists, just as people did back then.
There were some of them who, the guys...
Do you honestly believe the Wendigo exists, especially up north?
For many of them, the Wendigo isn't exactly for me.
It's just a human, guys, who put on exactly, that's it actually, a Wendigo.
Was a spiritual idea of a person. It's a very tall human who put on a... This creature symbolizes what happens when a person is consumed by hunger or selfishness. Which, yes, also brings us to talk about the cultists in this game, because they also have their dark secrets. Yes, in some traditions, it is believed that the Wendigos were actually created from humans who resorted to cannibalism to survive, which brings us to the other villains in this game, the Cultists. So, the Cultists are the only hostile human NPCs in the game. They usually attack the player every 3 nights. And what you'll also notice about them is that they all wear deer antlers.
Exactly. Yes, we're getting to that.
To my theory about the creature featured in this game, but there's more to it than that. You see, they don't just worship the Wendigo in this game. No, they go through what's called a Wendigo psychosis. That means when a person starts to crave, what is that crazy thing? Yes, it's actually a real known disorder. Some people think it's literally because they're turning into a Wendigo, and if someone actually experienced Wendigo psychosis, they would try to treat them. But if it was incurable and they became a threat to others, then they had to. So here...
In fact, there are people who want to eat other humans. They called it the Wendigo sickness.
Yes, so all these cultist enemies are actually those who experienced Wendigo psychosis.
Basically, the cultist guys, they're cannibals. Be careful out there.
Right? If you're playing the 99 Nights in the Forest Cataract, but they also attack you, the player, because they're hungry and craving human flesh. Yes, a lot of elements related to the cultists and cultism were actually inspired by another game called The Forest. The Forest. Indeed, in this game, you have to survive against nature, but also against cannibals.
Against cannibals, purists.
It's true that there's that. And I know that in this game, a lot of people compare this island, damn, it's starting, to what is considered the real North Sentinel Island in real life. What's crazy about this island is that it is home to a tribe, damn.
Here we go to my theory, guys who,
according to beliefs, have lived there for more than 60,000 years with little or no contact with the world.
outside. Exactly, they talked about this island, guys. People, they don't come back. People go there, they don't come back. But look at the size of the tree. Imagine someone like that, 2.23 meters tall with a Wendigo head. But you guys create stories like 99 Nights in the Forest.
As for the number of people living on this island, it's estimated that there are between 50 and 150. But again, that's not certain. That's all because every time someone tries to approach them, they always end up attacking. But now, let's get back to the Roblox game with the 4 missing people. Is this really based on a true story? Okay, yeah. Well, yes. So, the story goes that on June 9, 2023, a plane carrying 7 people, including a woman and her 4 children, took off.
Unfortunately,
Shortly after takeoff, the plane crashed. What is that? Wait.
Wait.
What is that demon appearing there with the plane? And the only survivors were the 4 children, all left alone in the Amazon rainforest.
Les gars, c'est la forêt amazonienne. Guys, this is the Amazon rainforest.
This is not just any forest.
This is the Amazon rainforest.
9 years old, 4 years old, and an 11-month-old baby.
9 years old, 4 years old, 4 years old. Yes.
The article says they survived in the jungle for almost 40 days. Yes, it says here in the article that the children changed places every few days, hiding in tree trunks to shelter from the rain. Once, there was a vicious snake that the children had to fend off. Meanwhile, shortly after the plane crash was discovered, that's when the army launched the operation.
Air Force.
How they survived, with the goal of finding the children lost in this vast Amazon rainforest.
Yes, the army is on the right. Right.
And fortunately, after 40 days, the 4 children were rescued. Yes, what I found interesting is that during their stay at the hospital, one of the children drew a dog sitting under a tree nearby. It's actually based on a dog that all the children had found, and it stayed with them for several days before disappearing again into the jungle. This article says that the children felt like it was protecting them from the dangers of the Amazon rainforest.
Okay.
And actually, when the army saw this drawing, to them, it looked like Wilson, a search and rescue dog who had gone missing. So this dog, during the last days of their survival in the forest, was actually protecting them. Finally, there are some theories that the children might have imagined the dog, saying that malnutrition and fatigue can play tricks on the mind. But I like to think that the dog was real, and that it was there to protect them. But yes, fortunately, all the children were safe and sound.
But look at how they come out.
According to the objective you're supposed to achieve in 99 Nights in the Forest, where indeed, you find each child one by one and save them, all while trying to navigate the dark terrors of the forest. So yes, this game contains a lot of elements taken from real life. There are the 4 people missing in the forest, the whole operation to try to save them. But there's also a real-life creature, in the shape of a deer, as well as all the members of the cult, who didn't really exist in Supernatural, in the shape of a greenhouse. As well as all the members of the cult who didn't really exist in the story, the real story. They are inspired by the but then, it's not the same. So the story begins when the army spoke, and what is the real story of this game? The story begins with the 4 missing children.
Alright, so in the Amazon rainforest, there weren't the black men who were there.
As you set up camp, you'll see the deer standing on its hind legs, watching and waiting. But this deer is not alone, because it actually has followers known as cult members, standing on their hind legs, watching you and waiting. But this deer is not alone, because it has a sect.
Oh!
Connu sous le nom de membre d'une secte. Now, throughout the nights, you must survive against the deer and the cult members while trying to find the children. One by one, you will be able to save them from an underground facility. The first child is guarded by wolves, members of the sect, while you try to find the children. One by one, you will be able to save them from an underground facility. The first child is guarded by wolves, the second by alpha wolves, the third child is guarded by bears, and the fourth by alpha bears. Now that you have saved the children, you have practically won the game. But this doesn't teach us anything about the origin of these cult members and this creature, Wendigo. But why are they doing this to us? Well, they're not.
You see,
There's a place where the cult members can appear, and you'll notice that it looks like a research lab, but it's completely out of service. Looking more closely, you'll notice a table with straps. This implies that scientists were conducting experiments here, maybe even on the deer itself. That would have caused the deer to grow, making it start standing on its hind legs, mutating into what we now think of as this Wendigo monster.
Alright.
So he managed to escape from the lab and spread. I think that's more of a... But some of these scientists actually started to worship the deer, creating obscene cults around it.
But they did it on purpose. You know, I can tell you they did it on purpose, the scientists.
You know. But what does the deer really want? Why does it keep trying to attack the player? Well, I think it just wants you to leave. Because of the scientists and the cruelties they've committed, the deer no longer trusts humans, only those members who have devoted their lives to it. That's why there's no final boss with the deer. In reality, it just wants you to leave this place. Now, as for what it really wanted from the children, well, similar to what the scientists were doing with what they wanted to do to the deer, I feel like the deer started conducting its own experiments by having children raised in the wild by animals. Which, yes.
The real deal, alright.
There are actually real stories.
He scares me. I heard about raising children, locking up children,
Giving the device back to the scientists.
But that's just a theory. Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe. What are you guys making up? Well, now we know about the deer, but there are other creatures in this game, especially the owl. Guys, I wanted to say that the owl, wow, this game is crazy.
99 Nights in the Forest is just a glimpse of something bigger, mais en réalité, un avant-goût de quelque...
Wait, that's not going to happen. There won't be a bull in 99 Nights, guys. After the deer, the owl is the best known creature.
So do we have another one? But to really understand what's happening, what is it in real life actually? Who or what is the owl? We all know where the deer comes from. It's based, yes,
On the Wendigo.
a frightening North American legend about people who become monsters because of hunger. Well, no.
We know that, guys. Well, no, we already know all that.
She doesn't act like other creatures in the game.
You want to say that?
Usually far from the safety of your camp, if you move too much, she reacts instantly. If you freeze and stay perfectly still, she might just fly away and disappear into the night sky. That's not how it is, yes.
Because she's blind.
Not that she serves, she hunts. There's something in her behavior that seems deliberate, as if she's choosing her moment on purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like the owl is watching you, deciding when to step in and when to stay away. She doesn't wander the forest by chance. She is here for a reason, and if you manage to understand that reason, we might just uncover one of the forest's darkest secrets, something the game hasn't explicitly revealed to us. It was hiding in plain sight. In the laboratory.
Okay.
Where it's believed the deer was created, you could say. It's funny.
But guys, the two videos, did you see what they're like? What? The two videos, guys, what are they like? What? I didn't even do it on purpose.
That's where we left off.
Hello? We can laugh.
We can laugh.
We can laugh, look there. Oh, wow, 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 wow.
There isn't just one bare table for the experiments. There are two.
If one table was meant for the owl,
So, what was the second one for? Could it have been for the owl? That makes sense when you think about it.
you grab something to eat at the same time, right?
This is real. It's a true story, guys. But the owl, that's not its role at all. The owl seems like it was created for one reason only: to hunt, not to eat, not to protect, to track down anyone who escaped and force them back under the laboratory's control. Maybe that's why.
Oh, the scientists became cultists. We saw that.
What the deer is really running from. It was built to be faster, sharper, and much more. Plus rapide, plus affûté, et...
So it's another creature created by the scientists. A more dangerous one.
When the laboratory collapsed, the deer stayed away in the forest with the children. But the owl, she didn't just disappear. She kept following her original programming. She appears at the most important moments, watches everyone who approaches the specimens, and makes sure that nothing and no one crosses the boundaries of the forest. And that's where things get even more interesting. The game claims that it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Surf is inspired by the Wendigo from American folklore.
What is it inspired by?
So what about the owl?
What is it? Where does it come from?
Where does it come from? Is it also based on a legend? After some research, I found something that,
Yeah, guys, what's with this mole? Guys, moles in real life, platypuses. Wait,
Doesn't need all that or a legend. Do you know what a mole looks like?
Or not, hey.
But wait, it's a bit much, wait. It depends on what the photo actually is. This one or that one, platypus.
That'll be the next creature to show up in 99 Nights, I'm telling you.
What is that? But what are those hands? But what is that, guys? But look at the hands of the ornithorynque.
No, plus it spreads like that. It's human. See, it's this fusion. It looks like a seal mixed with a duck or even a bug. The beak doesn't fit and it's scared.
Today, we're going to talk about the ornithorynque, aka the weirdest animal in the world, because there's a lot to say about it. First of all, physically, the ornithorynque is just a mix of several animals. It has a duck's beak, otter-like body and legs, beaver's tail, and mole-like claws. Also, the orni you saw is a mammal. What's a mammal? It's a warm-blooded animal, a vertebrate, so it has a backbone, it has fur, it can nurse its young, and it gives birth to its babies directly from its body. Because so far everything's fine, you'd say, but we know that it lays eggs.
For what purpose? Personally,
I don't know, but that means it's one of just 3 egg-laying mammal species worldwide. The others are the short-beaked and long-beaked echidnas.
let's stop here.
We're going to wrap up on that topic. If you're enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a like. It really helps a lot. And subscribe for more content like this.
And of course, let her dig into the video.
Also, if you have your own theories, feel free to share them in the comments below. In 1976, something strange happened.
In the quiet village of Mans, England. Okay, I like it when it's old like that.
They were visiting the area with their family. When they looked up at the church tower, they froze. At the very top, there was a huge creature that looked like an owl. It wasn't just a bird, it was much, much bigger. They said it had huge wings, the little ninja owl, tight. It looked almost human, but with feathers and a beak. The sight was so terrifying that the girls refused to go near the church again, and it wasn't. Corps semblait presque humain, mais avec an isolated incident. A few months later, 2 teenage girls who hadn't even heard about the first sighting claimed that the guys...
That's about the kids in the woods with the same glowing eyes and wings.
The same way of watching in silence before disappearing without a sound. People started calling him the Owl Man.
But here's the most disturbing part.
The same way of watching in silence before disappearing without a sound. People started calling him the Owl Man. He never attacked anyone. He didn't chase. He didn't try to hurt people. The Owl Man never attacked anyone. He didn't chase. He didn't try to hurt people. He would simply appear, stare at people for a moment, then disappear as if he had never been there. And like an owl, also similar to the owl in 86 Nights in the Forest. Sorry, as we said, the deer in the game is inspired by the Wendigo, that scary legend from American folklore where people transform dans la forêt into monsters because of hunger and greed. But the Owl Man, on the other hand, comes from an English legend. On the other side of the ocean, far from the setting of 99 Nights in the Forest.
Yes?
How did they meet? It clearly takes place in North America. Would it include a creature from overseas? Because apparently...
While searching for these videos, I found this. Apparently the two of them do this when we're not around. What do you want?
Huh? It's strange, isn't it? Unless the owl in the game isn't just inspired by the English old man, maybe it's connected to another legend, much closer to home. A creature that's been talked about in the United States for decades. Some even call it the American Owlman.
But... it has its own name. It's known as Mothman. Yes, Western some weight, but here it's the...
It happened in 1966. It's serious. People started reporting sightings of a mysterious creature, a huge winged figure with glowing red eyes that seemed to pierce right through you.
1966.
Creature mystérieuse, une immense silhouette ailée avec des yeux rouges brillants qui semblaient vous transpercer du regard. Witnesses described it as woe.
No, not underneath. No, not underneath. It's that kind of kangaroo.
They're human. It terrifies me. Winged arms that can extend further. It's even scarier. And some even said it could fly.
What do you mean wings? It attacks a car somebody they've never seen before. Here's what's strange.
Any kind of bird they'd ever seen. But here's what's strange. Just like the old man in England, the Mothman never attacked anyone. He would simply appear, often at night, watching from a distance before flying off into the darkness. Then people noticed a disturbing pattern. The Mothman seemed to appear just before something bad happened.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa. On December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge, which connects Point Pleasant to Ohio, suddenly collapsed during rush hour. And after that tragic day, all sightings of the Mothman stopped. Because of this, people started to, yes, call the Mothman a harbinger of doom, a creature that doesn't cause disaster but appears as a warning. What is it? No, but it's almost as if it was trying to tell people...
No, but if you complain, what is this?
This gameplay here. And what if the cult in the game was supposed to work the same way? Not just like a monster, but as a symbol that a much, much worse evil is coming. And if you spent time exploring the forest, you probably saw the cultists. We know that they're not just obsessed with the deer, they're always gathered around strange altars, performing dark rituals. And what if those rituals weren't meant for the deer at all? What if the cultists, yes,
No, but those rituals...
something in the forest, something that the laboratory started a long time ago but never finished, something that even the deer would be afraid of. If that's the case, then maybe every time the game announces that the owl has awakened, it's not just a random spawn message. Maybe it means that the cultists are getting closer and closer to reaching their goal. And the owl, just like the Mothman, appears because he knows what's about to be unleashed, and he makes sure we notice it. But here's something that makes all of this even more interesting. In the game, after the owl flies away, it can drop a feather. You can trade this feather for gas canisters, which is already very useful for survival. But in true British folklore, feathers, and especially those of an owl, can mean something much darker. They have been considered signs of bad luck, omens of death. Whoa.
Well, alright.
I thought you were going to make hats out of them.
British hats?
But no, they used to make people panic.
And what if the owl's feather in the stag was more than just an object?
I've never seen an owl's feather.
Me, even though I've already seen an owl, guys.
It's terrifying. The owl leaves a mark, a sign that it saw you, judged you, and decided that you won't survive what's coming. If the deer inspired by the Wendigo is the hunter of the forest, then the owl is its messenger. So the next time you see the owl
is the deer.
Remember, he may not be after you. He might be trying to warn you that the real nightmare of the forest is about to arrive.
What is the real nightmare of the forest? We still don't know. Could it be the ram, the cat, or the bat? For now, 2 videos are showing on the screen. I'll see you there. That was insane. I liked both videos.